Yeah, we back here on the Twisted T2, baby, where we do things a little different around here. Now, let's just say that yesterday's episode, we talked about a gentleman who found out his wife was cheating on him and, after several years, chose to stay. Sure enough, she did it again. And, well, you know what? It's pretty interesting how he figured it out because the wife pretty much told on herself. Long story short, you can catch it at the end of this, right? There was a lot of little things in there. It was pretty comical. Feel free to take a look. But today, oh yeah, today, you see, we went down a little clicker, ding, 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 and we found they were holding on to this conversation of things that what has gradually disappeared over the last 10 years without us noticing. And I said, oh, what has, right? So let's check out the conversation. First person writes mid-career jobs. Okay. Second person, independent small hardware stores. They used to be small staples in towns, absolutely, especially in the Midwest. Almost everyone used to be the oldest business in town. Yeah, that's true. Having been since the 1895. Yeah, no, you're right about that. Now, they're almost gone. And your really alternative is the big box hardware stores or ordering on Amazon. Incredibly depressing. Yeah, I will say, when you go to them big box stores and you try to get advice from some of the people, like I went to Home Depot and the people in there, some of them were young, and it might not just be your Home Depot, but definitely this Home Depot, and they didn't know nothing. Nothing. I was like, man, it took three people to figure out one screw. I was like, that's kind of backwards. I was like, well, where is it? Can you at least point me in the direction? Anyway, coins on the sidewalk. Yeah, you're right. Because, you used to be able to walk down the street, find quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies. Remember? You know the saying, right? You pick up a penny. On heads, you're going to have a good day. You pick it up on tails and it was supposed to be bad or something like that. You remember that. Now, you don't find no coins on the street. There used to be this rocky part of the park that I could find quarters. I'm telling you. Each time I visited. That's right. There was always coins everywhere. People were throwing them things away left and right. Whenever I would spend a lot of time rummaging through those rocks, find a couple bucks worth of quarters. Because every time you sit down, it fall out your pocket. That's messed up. I made up stories in my head of how a truck full of quarters must have crashed there years ago. And they never picked them all up. As I got older, I lost interest in the place, but it was always magical to me. Turns out my dad was dropping quarters in there when I wasn't looking because he knew it made me happy and kept me busy. That's funny. Good dad. That's funny. Interesting. Small phones. Remember the pre-smartphone era when they did bring them back though, raced up to make people's smaller and phones smaller and smaller. Then the iPhone was launched and, well, everybody thought it was too big at the time. But now everyone thinks it's tiny. Yeah, they went to having those enormous phones like this, to phones like this, to phones like this, to now phones like that. It's wild. 24-hour businesses. COVID killed them. Yeah, they did. And it seems a lot of them aren't coming back. My local Planet Fitness closes at 7 p.m. on the weekends. 7. Yeah, now you're right about that. Them 2 a.m. runs, right? That was me when I was on them 2 a.m. runs. Local shops, neighborhood stores are dwindling as big box retailers and the convenience of online, ownership. You pay ownership. You pay a subscription. You can't fix what you own because it's not yours. You can't buy it outright. The ownership of things has become a rental service. Here's where you can break or completely move from. It's true. without consent at any time because it's always in the terms. Yo, ownership. Yeah, you're right. Toys and cereal boxes. Yo, yeah. When I was a kid, you did get toys and cereal boxes. The ability to read and comprehend something longer than a paragraph. I mean, I'm struggling with the first part on that reading, but I'm working on that through these Reddits. That's why I'm reading to get it better. So, Chat GPT, please summarize the above post for me. That's how it is. A real live person answering a business telephone call. And if you don't believe me, press 5 to repeat the message. Yo, it's true. You don't get that nowhere no more, do you? I mean, you're doing some businesses, but man, in 90% of them, it's not. You don't. Oh, it's hard. We were experiencing higher than normal volumes. That's right. All day, every day. What? Alternatively, a customer service that doesn't take 5 minutes to tell you how you can reach them on their web. Motherfucker, I'm a millennial. Do you think I would be calling you if I had any other choice? Ringtone. Everyone now keeps their phone on silent. It's valid. Most people. Fireflies. I don't know. I haven't seen them in a long time too. Pile your leaves up then. Fireflies lay their eggs in. There you go. Good advice. Fireflies lay their eggs in leaves in the litter. When you bag them up, the trash. See, I told you I was struggling with the first part. Privacy is missing. Oh, your hair. Shit, things are getting rough. We're going to load up some more. In the last 10 years, what's been missing? Well, dignity. A lot of people's dignity, okay? A lot of people's work ethic has been missing in the last 10 years, if we want to talk about it. That's what's been missing in the last 10 years. A lot of people's work ethic. It's been going just completely down the drain. People answering phone calls. Yeah, you're right. Cold shoe. Guess what? I quit answering all my spams. That's right. We ain't answering phone calls because it just be bullshit these days. Not just answering, but I think phone etiquette in general. No one says bye anymore when hanging up. I answer the call at work and I leave a little pause to see if they have any other questions, pretty much just waiting for it. Okay, that's what I need. Thank you. Bye. Nope, just click. Really owning anything, but more paying to borrow. Yeah, I don't want to subscribe. I want to own. That is true. Skype. Oh yeah, ain't nobody been Skyping. I mean, now we got WhatsApp. It's amazing, really, the provider of video calls disappearing during Corona. Skype turned into Teams. Oh, okay. So it's not WhatsApp. Like, man, they damn near use the same shit. Yo, so, you know what? Yeah, if you were to ask me what's been missing, honestly, over these last 10 years, I would definitely say people's work ethic. Absolutely. Okay? Because that has gone straight out the window. All right? You know what? Let's get into this right quick. We got a little bit of time. So, this individual writes, are they overreacting? Horser loves shank, whatever. Am I overreacting for refusing to visit the United States with my American boyfriend until the 51st state fixes their tariffs and stop? Basically, they're considering the 51st state as to be Canada, I guess. So let's see. I that person is a 31-year-old female and their boyfriend is a 31-year-old male and are Canadian and American couple living in the UK. They got a lot going on. I'm back home in Canada right now. Oh, yeah, and they are not happy with what's going on right now in the news. So I called my boyfriend yesterday to let him know that I will be boycotting any trip to America over the next 4 years, or at least until the tariffs joke stop. I know I'm not joking about Canada becoming the 51st state. Stop. I added that I hope his parents don't think I'm being rude if I don't go home with him next time. His mom has a green card from China, so she gets to travel visas from her mom has a green card from China, so getting travel visas for her isn't easy. But he has an uncle in Canada, and I'd be happy to visit them there. Or even go along to China with them next year when she plans to visit. I lived in China for a year and his parents don't vote Republican. So this is really all interesting because this really got to do with the whole Democratic thing. What gets me is they live in the UK. They live in the UK. The fuck they got to do with this? Anyway, you really about your Canadian descent? He responded. He responded by asking if I would really miss his friend's up and coming wedding with him. They haven't announced it yet, but they haven't announced where it be yet. And I said, he is, oh my. And I said, he said, damn girl, well, that's certainly a take. And that we don't need to discuss it anymore. I could tell he thinks I'm overreacting, and I pointed out how many Canadians are canceling their trips to the US, but he urged that that's because their parents aren't American. Okay, now listen, this has been nuts just getting into it already. And I say that because reading this from this girl, oh my, let me just give you a gist. All right, so apparently his parents are American, okay? And his mom has a visa back and forth, a green card back and forth to be able to do some traveling, but from China. I really don't know what her problem is. Like, I get it. It's going to affect the country, but I don't really know what her problem is. So, like, she's going to miss the friend's trip is what he said. Okay? And now she feels like he's overreact that he thinks that she's overreacting. I kind of feel like he's going to do the classic American thing of playing down with his country is doing to affect others. If I miss weddings, I will feel bad. But again, I don't think Americans not seeing the gravity of this is surprising. I don't think Americans not seeing the gravity of this is surprising, given how insulated they often are from the effects of their country's policies on others. I don't want to create unnecessary tension, but I also don't think I should have to be set aside my principles just because it's convenient. Okay. I give you this look because she said she's setting aside her principles, right? Um, I don't know if, well, I can't go out there and just say that your political beliefs are principles. I just can't say that. Like, you know, a political belief is a political belief. right? It's not necessarily a principle. But hey, to each his own. I know this might seem extreme, but to me, it is a matter of standing up for my country and not supporting a government that is actively trying to harm it. Bang, bang, shots fired. Update. This is getting out of hand. Someone is trying to reset my password, and Reddit has reached out to me for scandal. Thoughts? Are you okay? Oh, for suicide thoughts. Are you okay? I told you I was struggling with the first part on reading, but we're going to get through this. Wow. Well, wow. Horser lover Yankee Toker. Wow. See? I guess it's smart that we play logged out. Anyways. Whew. I'm like I said when you said this in the beginning, yo, look, I don't really believe that those are principles. I feel as though that your beliefs and your political style is one thing. A principle is like a little different, you know. I live here and I don't want to be here. Honestly, I think that's a lot of people. So it is with a lot of people like that. I wish I was surprised at the number of people in this thread saying, her, leave then. These chuckle fucks were probably screaming, not my president during the Biden administration instead of leaving like they're advising now. All of my Canadian friends have canceled their trips here for those same reasons. I'm thinking of visiting Canada and boosting local economy with my money to show support. I'm American. Oh, this is going to come between a lot of Canadian and US families. I hope we Canadians can all stick to resolve what we do for feelings and rights for each other. Elbows up. The personal is political. Well, right. Like, realistically, you're allowing the politics to affect your lifestyle of what is going on, right? I don't know. I mean, I don't see the big deal. Okay? Also, if you're in the States longer than 30 days as a Canadian, you now have to register with the authorities. No, thank you. I'll stay home. Oh, I didn't know that. As a United citizen myself, I totally get it. I agree with you. Okay? I have a bias, but I say, I canceled my trip yesterday. And when I called the American on the other end of the tone, when I called the American on the other end, tore my head off, did not help his argument at all. They don't see what. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be honest, we don't. And I guess it's because, well, shit, we're taxed like a motherfucker out here as it is. So like all the shit that we pay and have to pay for out here, we're already like, well, what the fuck? So no, we're like, yeah, all right, you gotta pay some more. Some things are gonna start costing y'all a little bit more. I know it's unfortunate, but we gotta make sure that everybody, listen, we're a connected landmass. All right. I don't know what's we gotta make sure that everybody survives. I mean both sides, not just Canada, not just the United States. I mean all of them, right? Many of my American friends have zero compassion, and it's been difficult wanting to maintain these friends. That's because, again, you're choosing to mix your political beliefs with what you all are believing as going on, right? Like how we've already been dealing with each other prior to these 4 years, prior to this time that this has been going on. We ain't had a problem. We haven't had a problem, right? You and I have been going on, ain't had no problems. And all of a sudden, they do some shit on the political side, which we've been watching all our lives, how they do this shit. They throw political stuff in. We've been watching it our whole lives. So when you say, like, we don't have a problem, I'm telling you why. It's because we've been seeing this bullshit kick off our whole life. And we know they be lying to us and treating us and doing us like this. We're just now coming out and saying it. But we've been watching it. And, so now that, like, this guy, is deciding to throw stuff at the countries and go, look, here you go, here you go, here you go. We don't expect for our friendship to change because we were already friends, watched each other's kids, right? Went to the ball games, did certain things. Like, so, because your country is going to have to pay more and more things are going to go up. We're supposed to not be friends because you feel a certain way. And I'm supposed to go, oh, yeah, I sympathize. But realistically, we're like, well, it's a part of life, right? It's just what the fuck is going on. And unfortunately, yes, it affects you all's countries. But how does it change us as far as we were personal friends? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense. Okay? Seriously, this is nothing. It's serious. Russia is aligned with the U.S. now. Trump is moving swiftly away from the allies towards Russia. Americans can act like it's all just about the bump bump. Like I've been saying, Trump says it is, but it's an attack to disbelieve and weaken our country. Not to mention, if our prime minister said the kind of things Trump says, Americans would be apologetic and shit their pants in rage. Yeah, but you all haven't been lied to as much as we've been lied to as people, and how they conceal certain things up and been doing it. Like, I mean, yeah, they don't tell y'all everything, right? But, a lot of you all system has been set up better already. So when he's coming in and he's doing this, we're looking at it like, yeah, well, he's setting up our system, unfortunately, and putting us in a better spot. So it makes it messy, right? But again, it shouldn't change how we felt about watching each other's kids, kicking it with each other. Like, come on. You can't take it to that extent. It's a part of life. Americans, including your boyfriend, need to understand the gravity of the situation from our point of view. I have canceled my trip to New York. I'd have canceled my trip to New York too right now because it's cold, right? And it costs a lot. So it don't even make sense right now. You might as well wait. I'd wait, okay? Anytime you take a stand, someone is going to tell you you're overreacting and over-emotional. Well, again, it's politics. This is what they want things to do. Like, they want us to be against each other. Their job is to divide us. So pay attention to that part, okay? That's the biggest part in all of this. The politics job is to divide us. So be smart and understand that no matter what's going on that level, it doesn't have to make a difference on this level. Hello? Like the us level. We need to be connected in general as far as people, because humanity's humanity regardless. Okay? I wouldn't visit the U.S. if I didn't already live here. The hatred displayed on this thread is indicative of the culture of America right now. You are not overreacting. Elbows up, girl. We've got you, even if your partner doesn't. These aren't jokes about the 51st state. They are threats of an execution. Well, I mean, I get it. I see where you're coming from. Through an economic, can't get my words out. And through an economic war, your entire country supports you. Okay. I'm also Canadian, and the hubby's American. We live in around the corner from me, actually. Shh, don't tell nobody. They live in around. I don't want to tell nobody where y'all live. Okay? Keep it down. Okay? And the majority of his family lives in Florida. Shh. We've put a pin. The other people live in Canada. We put a pin in U.S. travel for at least a year to see how things unfold. You know? I'm American. And I do the same. It's not safe here. And if your partner doesn't get that, then they shouldn't be together. America is going down a very scary, very, very, very scary path with full support of a cult. I support Canada doing everything to fight against Minnie and his allies, including shutting off the power. Stay safe. America's not safe. No, America is not. Only you can say whether this boycott is more important than your relationship. Thank you. Finally, somebody with some real advice, please. Thank you. Gosh. Only you can say whether or not this boycott is more important than your relationship. But if my partner told me they were going to be willing to visit my family, they weren't going to be willing to visit my family or friends in my home country for at least the next 3.5 years, that would be really tough to swallow. That's true. Right? I mean, I'll be honest, I don't travel much. So for me, it would depend on where we were living at the time. But for you, again, you got to really ask yourself, is it not worth the relationship? Because that's what comes down to at the end of this. Your personal feelings on the politics is one thing aside. I get it. You all don't really want to be the 51st. You don't want to be the next state. And I can't sit here and say like, oh yeah, I blame you for that, because I don't blame you for that. I don't. I get that part of you guys don't want to be connected because there's a lot of mess that goes down here. Like I said, they've been lying to us for years. I don't make that up. Okay? That's the only reason why we over here like, yeah, well, some of us like the guy that's running right now because he's the only one that offered to tell the truth. That's the only reason why. And that's why I say, yes, messy because it affects everything else. But you're the only one that can really say whether your relationship it is worth throwing away because of politics. And I'm going to say that if you feel like it is worth throwing away over politics, because it's not a principle, it's a politic. Because whether or not you become that part of the state or not, I'm going to be completely honest when I say it's not in your control. Okay? It isn't in your control. So, the politics side, if you're throwing away that relationship over politics, then, well, that's on you. Right? And you don't truly love the person. Okay? Just saying. So, you got to be the one to make that decision. Like that person said, everybody else that came on here and said something again, yeah, you guys are, a lot of people are speaking with emotion because you feel a certain way. And that's just the definition, duh. So clearly you're speaking out of emotion. But with that being said, it's understandable. There's a lot of mess going on. And with that also being said, look, keep your head on a swivel because not everybody's out there for your best interest. We're going to take off. We hope, listen, for all anyone who made it through the end of this and struggled through that with me and struggled reading with me, I appreciate you. Oh yeah, we appreciate you. Okay? And if you did, I want you to leave a comment of reading. Just type reading struggles. Okay? Reading struggles. Right? And we're going to pick a random person that has that comment down there, and we're going to send you something. All right? Thank you for tuning into an episode of the Twisted Tea 2, where we got into one of these, am I overreacting? Oh, yeah.